Hi there, it's Denise with Ladybug Stampin' and here with another video tutorial for you guys today. And today we're gonna try to recreate this card. I made this on a live stream last night, and a lot of them were wanting, you know, for the instructions and the measurements and stuff. And I did try to write a blog post without doing a video, but it didn't work. So I thought I would just get on here and show it on YouTube how I made this card. Okay, so this is, I'm sure some of you guys have seen how to create a tie, but being there's a lot of new card makers out there, some of them probably hasn't seen really how to do this. So, and I searched for it because I made one a long time ago, but I couldn't really find anything on YouTube. I found like a, just some instructions, but with no words, just, they were literally just pictures. So I had to figure out the measurements. So that's what we're gonna go with, my measurements. You can always change the measurements up to suit your card. Okay, so, and we're only going to do one little bit of stamping, and it's going to have this, it says Best Dad Ever, and it comes from the new stamp set out of the new catalog, annual catalog that started June 1st, and it's called Another Wonderful Year. It's 2 cases with all these great sentiments, and they're on the back here, and they are true to size on the stamp case, so that's why they had to go in 2 cases. So Another Wonderful Year. All right, and then we're also going to be using, for like their buttons on our shirt, we're going to be using some of the True Gentleman buttons that's in the annual catalog. These carried over from the Occasions catalog, so we're going to use a couple of them. Probably pick up some smaller ones this time, and then we're going to have to use some Night of Navy cardstock that is cut at 5.5 by 8.5, and then we're gonna actually fold this in half like we normally do for a card base. And then our DSP, and I'm just gonna use the same DSP, is from Nature's Poem Designer Series Pack, and this is cut at 4 inches by 4 inches. Now, you could make this tie smaller by going down to 3.5 by 3.5. It just needs to be a square. So anywhere from 3.5 to 4 inches, I would think, would be about the right size. Now, if you don't want to make the shirt card and just make the tie, you could probably even make this at 5 inches, but that's going to be a very large tie. But it would fit on just a standard card if you didn't do this cutting up here at the top. Okay, so first let's go ahead and get our card base ready. And what you're going to do first is you can either score it at 4 1/4, or you can just fold it in half, like that's what I normally do to create my card bases, and then it becomes just like a normal tent card. Okay, and then you're going to open it up, and we are going to need our trimmer, our Stampin' trimmer, and we're going to have to put it this long ways. Okay, that's how I was able to cut it easier. So we want to make sure, and I always have to open this up to kind of see. Okay, no, okay, we're going to turn it around. So this is the inside. Okay, so this is the inside of the card, and this is the outside where you've got your fold line. Okay, where you can see the I'd call it the mountain, and the inside is the valley. Okay, so this is the outside of the card, and just like this. So this it measures from 1 to 5.5 this way from the top of the shirt. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut down an inch below, and we're going to make our cut go straight across, but we're going to measure up this way to inch. So the best way to do that, since there's an inch mark on this side of the trimmer, we're just going to take our cardstock, I'm trying to see from upside down, and we're going to line it up with the 1 inch mark on here. And then we're going to take our cutting blade, and we're going to go down to 5.5 inches, okay, on this line on the ruler right here. So 5.5, okay. And then we're going to pick it up, and we're going to go down to 7 1/4 on our ruler right here. I know you guys can't really see that, but the little pointy end, let me get my little bone folder. The pointy end right here is on 7 1/4. or just about, I think. Okay, yeah. And then we're just gonna continue to cut, okay? So when you get done, you've got, it looks like this. So you've got this part cut and then just a little flap right here cut. And that's all the cutting we're gonna do. So we'll move that out of the way. Okay, now we have to trim this piece off. So we're gonna grab our paper snips and we're gonna trim off right here where we creased it, okay, where we folded it in half. And we're just gonna trim that part off. Of course, you can save this for another card. All right, so now we're gonna turn this over. We're gonna turn it like towards, this is what the front of the card looks like. So it's got these two little flaps, which become the shirt, the collar of the shirt, okay? Make sure you guys can see. I know that this is dark to kind of see it with the Night of Navy. But as we fold, I'm hoping that you guys will see that. And I might go down, let me just zoom in a little bit. Okay. So, we'll get those little flaps right there. Okay. So now we've got that ready. And I'm going to take, well, first let's make our tie because that's how I did it last night. And it was a little easier for me where I knew to, well, I guess I don't need to. Okay, so you're going to take this point and we're going to fold it over. And we're not going to fold it completely over. Let me fold it. We're going to kind of like fold them at the same time so that we can meet them, their corners. So we don't want them to overlap, but we want the two tips right here, these two tips to touch each other on the card. Okay, so as long as we've got it measured pretty good. Now what I did was I hold that with your finger and just use your bone folder to crease that. All right, and then you can just take it and crease it a little bit more. Okay. All right, so now kind of looks like, you see that color now? That's so cute. Okay, so we're gonna put this to the side while we create our tie. Okay, so now to do the tie. The original tie that I made, it wanted me to fold this in half, okay, and then burnish. But what ended up happening was that there was a line that went down the tie, and I didn't like that. So what I decided to do was I took my pencil and my ruler, which I think my other ruler I took to work with me. And I'm just gonna line it up, and you can use your grid paper, and I just noticed this, but you can use your grid paper and put each point right here on this dark black line so it's pretty even, okay? Then you're gonna take your ruler, you're gonna use that to line it up as well. And then take your pencil, and you want it to start at the point. You don't want it to be over a little bit or over that way. You want it pretty much straight. So we're just gonna take this and go down. Now, I might need to take a pin so you guys can see. Let me line that back up. That way can you guys see? Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna go back over it like this. And we're gonna take the pin, whoops. Go over just a little bit. All right, we're gonna take the pin. That way you guys can see. Oh, that'll be a little bit, there you go. I know it's kind of, well, you guys can see it, that's good. Okay, so I know that's gonna be half of the paper. So now I'm gonna take this point and I'm gonna bring it over to this line, okay? Let me do it this way. So I'm gonna bring this point, and what's gonna happen is this is gonna roll up, and you just want it to you want to go down and make a straight line. So I'm just pulling, I'm using my finger to kind of hold the top up here at this tip at the bottom, and just lay this over and make sure before I really crease it that it's lining up, okay? Just got to get a little bit, you just got to make sure, because you don't want to be, there you go. I want to line up. This was easier last night, believe it or not. My paper just tore. Okay, I'm gonna go with that. This should be okay. And then we're gonna take this tip and do the same thing, okay? So it ends up looking like, what does it end up looking like? It looks like a kite. It's starting to look like a kite. Yeah, that's okay. It doesn't matter about that because we're gonna do something with that later. So then it looks kind of like a kite. And the top of the kite, which would be normally the top, and then you got the bottom of the kite, right? This is the bottom of your tie, and this is the top of your tie, okay? So now we're gonna flip it over so that the top of the kite is facing you and the bottom of the kite is facing that way, okay? Then we're gonna take this and we're actually gonna go down about 2 inches. Now, you can do this a couple different ways. You can take your ruler and you can start the tip right here and just make like a little pencil mark maybe right here to kind of say, okay, that's the 2.5 inch mark. Or you can use your grid paper, and I'll see if I can, I got some other stuff for another video in front of me. Sorry guys. All right, I'm back. I had to cut that out because I was doing something really messed up. So I had to cut that part out. All right. So you can take this, the tip of this, and put it right here at the top, the bottom of your grid line where it's got measurements. And this point should go about 4 inches right here, okay? Then you can just take, you can take this 2 inch mark, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna fold this over. So this is like the bottom of the kite, right? And you're gonna fold it over, and you can use your grid paper if you want to. It's not that necessary because you can use, like I said, the pencil and the ruler and just erase it. But I wanted to show you both different ways, okay? For me, this is faster using the grid paper. Okay, now we're gonna burnish this right here. All right, and then we're gonna take the tip, which should be the tip, and we're gonna bring it back up here to the middle. Okay, right there. And we're gonna burnish it again. And then we're gonna take it and, let me do it this way and keep going this way. So it kind of looks like a bird in a way. That's what I told him last night. It looks like a bird in a way. Okay, that's what it kind of looks like. So now that we've got that, we're gonna take this fold right here that we just folded, and we're gonna fold it again. And we're gonna bring this fold line to this fold line, okay? And you can put your little tip right there inside if you want. All right, and then we're gonna burnish that again. Okay, I just burnish it really good. All right, so now it kind of looks like this, okay? So this is the way, now you've got this right here. Here's the other fold. So I want to see if you guys can see that, okay? But just remember, this is the front of the tie. So you're gonna fold down the 2 inch mark. You're gonna take your tip and fold it back up, okay? And then you're gonna fold it again. So then it looks like this. All right, now we've got that. I'm gonna put that back in there. Now we're gonna turn it over, back over, and look at the back of the tie. And we're gonna take this one, this point right here, and we're gonna roll it over, okay? And part of this is gonna roll with it, which is what you want to make the tie look real, okay? So you fold that over. And because the paper is starting to get really thick, you're gonna have to use your finger and roll it over. Just roll the paper over, okay? And then take your bone folder, burnish this line, these right here, these folds, and then bring this over and kind of use it to kind of burnish that down, okay? Now we're gonna take this one and we're gonna do the same thing. Turn it this way so I can see it. I'm gonna meet that one, that side. Okay. If it goes over a little bit, that's okay. Probably like a natural tie does. We're gonna burnish this same way, and again we're gonna roll this over with our fingers, and then just use your bone folder to kind of rub it down. Okay. All right, and then there's your tie. Now, you can take some adhesive and put in here, but you really don't need to because we're gonna put some dimensionals on the back here when we attach it to our card, all right? So we're gonna take this right here. Now we're gonna take our card, and the first thing we're gonna do is go ahead and stamp real quick our sentiment. So we're gonna get out Best Dad Ever. Let's see, Best Dad Ever. And we're going to use our H block and attach it. And we're just going to use some Night of Navy. Here's my notes. Okay. And we're going to ink it up. Make sure I'm on the right. Okay, and then you're going to try to, I use this block as a guide because it seems to be the same width as my card, just about. And we're going to try to go down as, I need to stand up for this so I can see. I want it down towards the bottom in the middle, as center as I can get it. Okay. Do you guys hear my wrist pop? Okay, there you go. Now, I don't know if you guys can see that because it is kind of, there we go. See how, so it's tone on tone, but you can see it in person. It shows up really good. And it's subtle, so it still looks like a shirt, but it has the sentiment on the front. Okay, so we're gonna put our ink up. Then we're gonna get our buttons out. And I think I'm gonna use, see, I used those little brown ones on that one. I think that's what I want to use again because those are the tiniest ones I have. Yeah. All right. Then we're going to get our glue dots out. And you can use like a liquid glue with this so it stays on better. I'm just going to use the glue dots to save time. Well, to save time on the video. That's funny. And now, my other card, I put the buttons a little higher. Whoops, a little higher than what they should be. So this time I'm going to try to put them down here at the points, at the corners. I'm going to take these to work and see if anybody wants them to give to their dad, since I've already made one. Okay. So there we go. All right, now we're going to get our dimensionals out, our Stampin' dimensionals out. Whoops. And I'm actually going to put one inside here to kind of lift this up a little bit. Okay. And then on the back of this, I'm going to put one right here, right here, right here. I don't want it to lay flat. I want it to be, yeah, kind of like that. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and take these off. You guys, I was making another card last night that I'm going to have at YouTube for tomorrow. And it can be used for a Father's Day card or really any card. But I used the green inks and I still have my poor nails. I'm telling you what. They've been rough the last month. I've been crafting and creating. All right, so now we're going to take, oops, let me bring this down. So I've got my little dimensionals in here. Before I take them off, I just kind of want to see where my tie is going to go. And I got to be careful because I did take the backing off of my back of my tie. And that's about where I want it because I want just a little bit of that poking out. Okay, and make sure it's straight. I mean, you can have a lopsided tie, I guess, huh? There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and take these dimensionals off. And, whoops. Fold them over, and there you go. And you don't need any other adhesive because that's just going to lay down perfect. Okay, and then you fold it up, and there you go. You've got a Father's Day shirt card. So if you know that father who wears ties to work, this would be a cute little card, and it's not too cheesy. All right, and it's cute. I think it's cute. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining me. And the link below, I will have a blog post with the measurements of the card and where I cut at. And then I will have a diagram of the tie, okay? All right, guys. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.